Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're embarking on a highly specific mission. We're going to master travel photography in Jiufen, and crucially, we're going to do it without the stress of those massive crowds. Because let's be honest, if you've ever seen a photo of Taiwan that just made you want to instantly drop everything and book a flight, there's a very good chance it was taken right here. But getting that perfect shot? Well, it requires a bit of strategy.
So you want the perfect Jiufen photo? It's literally the ultimate question on every visitor's mind when they arrive in this former gold mining town in the Rufang district. I mean, it's a place that's practically built for a camera, but navigating it with a lens, that requires way more than just showing up and mashing the shutter button.
Because what everyone is really chasing is this, the Holy Grail. We're talking about the Shuqi Road stairway, right beside the century-old A-Mei tea house, specifically captured at Blue Hour. It's this one single location that features tiers of red lanterns, stacked tea houses, drifting mist, and a breathtaking view all the way down to the sea. It's the exact frame that fills postcards and floods social media feeds all over the world.
Okay, let's dive into our playbook. First, the signature Jiufen shot. Second, mapping the best spots. Third, mastering the light. Fourth, how to actually beat the crowds. And finally, myths and final tips.
All right, Section 1, the signature Jiufen shot.
This is the shot you came for, right? The one where the lanterns create a literal wall of warm light. But to get this right, you absolutely have to follow a strict sequence. Step 1, arrive by 5 p.m. You've got to claim your spot on the lower Shuqi Road steps before the dust crowd really starts to build up. Step 2, shoot upward. You want to stand just a few steps below the tea house to frame the lanterns rising into the sky right above the rooftops. Step 3, wait for the magic. The lanterns usually switch on around 6 p.m. Step 4, steady your camera. The light's going to be low, so you must brace yourself to avoid blur. And finally, Step 5, shoot both ways. Get one looking up at that lantern facade, and then simply turn around to shoot down the lantern-lined stairway as it drops away toward the bay.
Moving on to Section 2, mapping the best spots.
You know, Jiufen's geography actually makes the town remarkably easy to shoot in just a single evening, and that's because everything pretty much revolves around one crucial geographical feature, the T-Junction. This is the intersection of Jiufen Street, which is the covered market lane, and Shuqi Road, the steep stone stairway dropping away from it. Almost every single iconic Jiufen image you've ever seen clusters right around these two narrow streets.
And honestly, just notice how close everything is here. You've got your signature shot on the Shuqi Road stairway at Blue Hour, but literally just a few minutes away is the restored 1930s Shengping Theater. You can use its doorway as a frame at dusk for a really stunning vintage facade. Or look for gaps near the top of Shuqi Road in the late afternoon. You'll find this beautiful golden light falling over the tea house roofs straight down to the sea. And during the daytime, just head into the Jiufen street lanes, shoot over the heads of the crowd, and catch those hanging lanterns mixed in with the steaming food stalls.
Section 3, mastering the light.
Now, location is really only half the battle. Light is what truly makes or breaks your photograph. You essentially get two completely different towns depending on the hour. Daytime? Well, that's all about detail. It's when you capture the bright, chaotic energy of the steaming food stalls, the sweeping sea views, and the rich, gritty texture of the stone steps. Oh, and remember, Jiufen rains a lot. But a gray day is never wasted here. Mist and wet stone photograph absolutely beautifully. But Blue Hour? Oh man, that is when the glowing lanterns perfectly balance with a lingering, colorful sky. Nothing blows out and nothing falls to black.
To catch that perfect balance, though, your timeline needs to be exact. At 5 p.m., you're on the steps. At 6 p.m., the lanterns finally switch on. But the real magic window, that begins right around 6:20 p.m., and it only lasts for about 20 to 30 minutes.
So the absolute crucial point is this number right here, 15. This is the exact number of extra minutes you absolutely must force yourself to wait after the initial crowd gets their shot and leaves. Let's look at this insider intelligence from food and travel photographer Daniel Reeves. He says, everyone fights for the dead center stairway shot, then leaves the second the lanterns are on. Stay another 15 minutes. As the sky goes from blue to black, the crowd thins, and that narrow window of deep blue sky behind warm lanterns is the photo people actually remember. I mean, he hit the nail on the head, right? That right there is your mentor passing down a true field secret. Patience is literally your greatest filter.
All right, Section 4, how to beat the crowds.
Because let's face it, the biggest obstacle to a clean photo isn't your gear, It's the massive waves of day trippers that arrive via coaches around 10 a.m. and just do not thin out until 8 p.m. So how do you outsmart them? Well, first, operate at the edges of the day, before 10 a.m. or after 8 p.m. Second, physically shoot above their heads. Angle your camera up at the lanterns and rooftops to completely lose the foot traffic below. Third, pick a weekday. Weekends double the crush, so a random Tuesday evening, that's a massive strategic advantage. Better yet, stay overnight for dawn access. And lastly, just a vital point of etiquette here, do not block the stairway while setting up. Shuqi Road is a working thoroughfare, guys. Take your frame and then courteously step aside.
And Daniel Reeves drives this point home beautifully. He notes, if a clean, empty stairway is the shot you came for, give up on the evening and come back at first light. I have stood on those steps at 7 a.m. with the lantern still glowing and not a soul in frame. The day trippers are all still in Taipei. Honestly, that is the ultimate workaround if you want total serenity.
Now, I want to address a really common pain point for photographers trying to travel light. Do you actually need a tripod for these low-light shots?
The simple answer? No. Actually, scratch that. It's more like definitely no. The lanes are usually way too crowded to even attempt setting one up anyway. So just use the environment. Brace against a railing or a solid wall, or literally just rest your phone or camera on a stone step. Modern phones and cameras handle a low blue hour light incredibly well if you just keep them stabilized.
And finally, Section 5, Myths and Final Tips.
Okay, let's address the absolute elephant in the room. Every time you see a picture of Jiufen, someone always asks, wait, is this the staircase from that famous Studio Ghibli film Spirited Away? The truth? Well, not officially. While the A-Mei tea house is universally associated with the film by tourists and pop culture fans alike, director Hayao Miyazaki has actually denied any direct link. So, while it totally feels like you're stepping into a fantastical anime world, I mean it really does, officially it's just a remarkably beautiful historic Taiwanese town. To wrap up your playbook, here are 3 final tactical bonuses. First, buy a tea set at A-Mei. Yes, it costs money, but it earns you an exclusive balcony seat with a stunning view over the lanterns and the bay, completely elevating you above the crowd. It's totally worth it. Second, for the absolute best overall panoramic view, head near the top of Shuqi Road. There are gaps between the buildings there looking straight down at the East China Sea. And third, embrace the rain. Don't pack your camera away just because of a drizzle. It creates breathtaking reflections on the wet stone that you simply cannot get on a dry evening. So what you should take away from all this is that a truly great travel photo isn't just about luck. It's about timing. It's about positioning, and honestly a little bit of patience. Armed with this playbook, knowing exactly when to arrive, where to stand, and why waiting that extra 15 minutes makes all the difference, are you ready to conquer the crowds and capture the true magic of Jiufen? Get out there and take the shot. Thanks for joining me on this explainer, and keep learning.